What is the ultimate goal of a civilization? Is it to conquer, to explore, or is it simply to survive? But what happens when survival is achieved so completely that there is nothing left to strive for? What if the perfect sanctuary becomes the most beautiful prison? Tonight, we journey into the hypothetical history of a species that answered these questions, a civilization that built a monument to their own genius and a tomb for their ambition. This is the story of the Dyson Sphere builders. Part 1. The Genesis. In the vast, silent theater of the cosmos, countless stories have played out and faded to black, their triumphs and tragedies unknown to us. Tonight, we unearth one such story, not from dusty ruins on a long-dead world, but from the hypothetical history of a civilization that dared to tame a star. This is the story of the Dyson Sphere builders. This is the story of the Lumin. The Lumin were a species born into a paradise under siege. Their world, a jewel of cerulean oceans and lush continents, was blessed with life. But their star, once a gentle parent, had grown erratic in its old age. Its magnetic field was weakening, its solar flares growing in intensity, stripping away the planet's atmosphere, scorching the land, and threatening to erase the Lumin's billion-year evolution. They were faced with a choice: flee into the cold, uncertain dark of interstellar space, or make a stand. They chose to stand. They chose to build. Part 2. The Great Work. Their solution was the grandest engineering project ever conceived, a megastructure that would not just protect them, but fully contain their star, capturing every joule of its energy, a Dyson Sphere. It was an act of audacious survival, a declaration that they would not be extinguished. The project would take millennia. It would require them to sacrifice their own moons, to deconstruct entire planets in their solar system, harvesting them for the raw materials needed for their salvation. Generations of Lumin lived and died, knowing only the great work. From their besieged world, they watched as the first scaffolding, a brilliant ring of light and industry, took shape around their Sunday. Fleets of automated builders, a testament to their ingenuity, worked tirelessly in the harsh glare of space. They spun asteroids into cables of impossible strength and forged planet-sized hexagonal panels, their outer shells a perfect light-absorbing black, their inner surfaces a shimmering, iridescent mother of pearl, ready to become the new sky. The day the first panel blotted out the sun was not a moment of celebration, but of profound, somber reverence. A shadow fell across their world, the first artificial night in its history. With each new panel, another piece of their natural sky vanished, replaced by the promise of a perfect, engineered heaven. The great work was not just a construction project, it was a long, slow farewell to the universe they had known. Part 3. The Gilded Age. After millennia, it was complete. The star was caged. The Lumin migrated from their dying homeworld to their new one, the inner surface of the Dyson Sphere, a world with a surface area billions of times greater than their original planet. They had achieved ultimate security. Their cities, now built on the inverted landscape, were masterpieces of grace and light. They controlled the weather, the seasons, and the very concept of day and night. It was the dawn of a golden age. Freed from the struggle for survival, Lumin culture blossomed. Their art became their new purpose. Having caged the ultimate source of light, they became obsessed with it. They created vast, holographic light sculptures that filled the sky. Their music was composed from the resonant frequencies of the sphere itself. They engineered artificial constellations, a new zodiac of their own making, to replace the one they had sacrificed. They built a perfect, predictable, and beautiful world. Part 4. the whispers of the void. But perfection can be a cage of its own. Millennia passed in this gilded world. The star was stable, the environment was perfect. There were no more challenges to overcome. The stories of their ancestors' struggle, of the violent sun and the great work, faded from memory into myth. The Lumin, born into a world without a true night sky, had never seen another star. They had no concept of the vast, chaotic, unpredictable universe that existed just beyond their perfect shell. A strange melancholy began to settle on their civilization, a cosmic agoraphobia in reverse. They had conquered their environment so completely that they had lost their reason to strive. Their birth rates declined. Their grand art projects became repetitive. Their curiosity about the outside vanished. They had achieved perfect safety, but at the cost of their ambition, their fire, their very soul. They had forgotten the inspiring, terrifying beauty of the unknown. Part 5. The Silent Monument. The fall of the Lumin was not an explosion, but a whisper. A slow, quiet fading over thousands of years until eventually there was no one left. They did not die from war or famine or disaster. They simply stopped. Their perfect world became a perfect, silent monument, a tomb of their own making. Countless ages later, a new vessel arrives, a ship from a young, ambitious species called humanity. They breach the outer shell, expecting to find a star. Instead, they find a world. Silent cities, art that hums with forgotten energy. And the final records of the Lumin, a cautionary tale left for the next explorers to find. The human explorers find the final Lumin archives, a simple holographic message left by the last of their kind. The message contains no warning, no regret, only a question posed to the newcomers, to us. A question that echoes in the silent, perfect world they built. We achieved perfect safety. Was it worth the price? The story of the Lumin serves as a profound and unsettling reminder that a species might not need an enemy to perish. That sometimes the greatest threat to intelligence is the absence of a challenge. And that perhaps the darkness and chaos of the unknown universe isn't a threat to be conquered, but a necessary ingredient for a life worth living. The Dyson Sphere remains, a silent testament to a civilization that solved the problem of survival, but lost the meaning of existence. It is a profound and unsettling reminder that the greatest threat to a species may not be the fire of a dying star, but the cold comfort of a gilded cage. And so, it leaves us with a question that echoes through the void. As we, humanity, begin our own reach for the stars, what are we truly searching for? A safe harbor? Or the infinite, chaotic, and beautiful unknown that truly makes us alive? If these are the questions that fuel your curiosity, and you believe the greatest stories are written in the stars, you found your home. Subscribe to Out of Space, and never stop looking up.